reread the Serpent and Dove trilogy on my weekend off. The entire trilogy. I give Serpent and Dove, the first one, credit to getting me back into reading, specifically, no, I'm not even gonna say fantasy, everything. She got me back into everything. I love her. She is like my comfort read. It is the kind of book that I feel was extracted from my brain because it is perfect for me. And I will go to the guillotine saying that that is my favorite trilogy. However, I'd like to not go there. What the Hi, I'm editing my Serpent and Dove vlog right now, and it is painful, and I'll tell you why. I seem very monotone in this video, and I almost look like I'm just bored out of my mind. I'm not. It was the first video I recorded in a year where I wasn't, you know, every night just fall asleep. So I was very nervous to be in front of the camera again. I'm in a much better place now. But I am editing it, and I just kind of look, I'm very quiet. Couldn't be me. I was so nervous though. I think you see me pick up towards the end because I was getting back into the swing of it, and then the video I'm recording right now, I feel like it's a little better. There's only room for improvement. I hate that I look so worn out during one of my favorite series, but I love the series so much. It's not in any way me being So, just editing now, trying not to beat myself up for how I look. I made a video when Gods and Monsters came out. However, well, I didn't, I never posted it because I had gotten my heart broken for the first time right before that, and I was in denial. So I might pull some clips from that original video that was almost 2 years ago and use it just for like the initial reaction and compare it to how I'm reacting now, because it's heartbreaking. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this in 3 days. I am most likely not going to, because I have other things to do despite having these days off. So we might extend it to being like the rest of the week, or we might just extend it until it's done. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this, I have desperately wanted to reread the series anyway. It was probably the first book that I finished and immediately flipped back to the first page and read it again. This book, I knew it was like one of my favorites when I read it, to the point where it never made it onto my bookshelves. It's just sitting on the shelf of my desk, and it's like my inspiration for when I'm writing. There are, and I keep them in this room, there are a handful of books that do that for me, but Serpent and Dove was the first, so she's always just kind of stayed up on the top shelf. Queen. When I recorded this last time, I had all of this, like, I have art around my... So, we're gonna start now. Also, and I think I'm a very different person than I was when I recorded this for the first time. For, as far as I'm concerned, this is gonna be the first video I've posted in a long time. I've recorded 4 videos relatively recently, or in the last year, and haven't uploaded a 1 because, again, it was a rough year. A lot of heartbreak. A lot of dumb decisions. 5 to be exact. I'm in a better place now. Mentally, with... oh, I was gonna say that now I'm like, I'm a Taylor Swift girly. And I even started Gilmore Girls last night. I went to like 4 thrift stores today. I'm like, the reason, alongside just wanting to reread this again. So, when Gods and Monsters came out and Shelby, the author, was doing a bunch of press and everything, I remember on the way, I think it was like they were on the way to her local bookstore or whatever, which is actually where I bought my copy. And I still have the box it came in up there on display on my bookshelf. When she was on the way to her bookstore to sign books, I believe she and her critique partner slash bestie, who I'm What else I like to be besties with? Both of you. Jordan. They they said that they plotted out a whole thing for a side character, and before that Shelby was saying that, you know, the world that Serpent and Dove is in was done. She was working on another series at this time, and I remember thinking when she said that, maybe this outline was so good that 5, 6 years, hell, even 10, she'll revisit the world and we can see the characters again. And that just gave me this little sliver of hope that there would be more for this series. And then she cranked it out in 1 year. However, a lot happened the rest of the night. I did stop reading for about 2 hours. I went and played bingo with my mother, as most 25, pushing 26-year-olds do. I came home and I read to page 228. That's not bad for one, day. Not even a full day. Oh, also, this happened. I took some pictures for fun, because obviously, I mean, Lou has brown hair and green eyes, as I do, but I don't think I wish I looked like her. However, I took these pictures in my little chemise and little corset thing I had. I was just taking funny pictures. Yeah, and then this happened. Shelby reposted me on her story. Are we excited? My son is with us today. Come here. One of them. Say hello. So that did happen. I finished. It is also day 4 out of 5 of my days off. And again, in my defense, I didn't start until the second day. I didn't start till the end of the second day. I also thought that I was going to have 5 days of nothing to do but laundry and reading, but I've had a bit of a social life this week. And by social life, I mean I went and played bingo with my mom, and then she came over yesterday and we had a little painting date, and tomorrow we're playing trivia. And I'm fine with all of these things. However, the challenge is hereby changing. Instead of trying to read the entire trilogy in, 4 days, because I also forgot how thick the sequel and third book are. My goal is to finish it at the very least, because these books are so big, like Monday or Tuesday. It's Wednesday right now. So reading an entire trilogy in a week is also good. You can see the difference in how my annotating started off. I think this was one of the first books I started annotating, and the thing was, is like, so I went to film school. Ask me what I do for a living. It has nothing to do with that. However, when I read this, I wanted to be Lou, but like the blue tabs were where I would mark episodes that I would make, and it was very like color coordinated, all in the same spot kind of thing. I started to figure out how to annotate a little bit in this one and a little bit more in this one. In comparison to like how I've annotated books since these, this seems so small. I'm going to start the second one. Unpopular opinion, except I like my opinion better. I know that some people said that they just did not get into the second book as much as the first one. What was I saying? Oh yeah, some people just like did not get into the second book that much. I was kind of obsessed with it. Like, and maybe it's just because it's just so far from what I would have expected it to be. Like, I never would have expected the, you know, like just like the traveling crew performing in like these little, you know, wagons, all that stuff. I never would have expected, you know, specifically one of the characters that goes into the third book to end up being who they are and everything. I was obsessed with this book. Like the tarot stuff and like it just this, say what you want, it's the meat. Oh. I'm gonna try to finish this book tomorrow, which is really funny considering I'm only like a fourth of the way through right now. And then comes the dreaded couple sad parts. I can't remember if I cried harder for when like the thing that happens in this book or the thing that's revisited in the third book, if you know what I mean. This and Crescent City. You read books, I swear. Made me cry quite a lot. I wanted to change of background. I'm on page 408, so I have a little over 100 pages left. I'm gonna finish this today. I am determined. I'll probably start the third one tomorrow, although I have work for the next 3 days. But I'm excited, but I'm also not, because I know what happens at the end of this book. Oh.
Hi, do you want to say hi? Show and tell
Of all my metaguts. I have 4 of them.
Man.
I'm at the part where should I do no spoilers or no? I feel like I've been pretty vague so far, so I can keep doing that. I'm at the part where Reed is being interrogated by someone with someone else while someone else has to watch.
Do you want to say hi to the camera? Say hi!
I hate this book.
Ah!
I hate this book. Ah! I take it back. I'm not a fan of this author. I don't like her. She makes me cry. The ending of this book sets up the next one so good. Oh my gosh. I have to go to work! Okay, I just picked up the last book in the trilogy. Also, I don't usually read acknowledgements, but for some reason, I was looking at the last page of this one, and it literally says, I similarly promise there will be no Celie or Philip in my next book. Little did you know that when you were signing copies of this, that you drafted a hole! Yes, there is. Okay, I just got home. I should have shown you my outfit because it was cute, but now I'm in my robe as, it should be. Anyway, I started this afternoon. I only read like the first 3 chapters. I wanted to get about 200 pages in today. It's like 9 o'clock. I doubt that's gonna happen, but you never know. I was supposed to be cleaning all day today. However, I didn't do that much, which means I have to clean for the next 2 days straight. So I really do need to get a chunk of this done tonight. She's annotated, kind of. This is probably the first time I did like an extensive annotate, as far like there's not any writing in it, but there is, you know. Anyway, I'm on page 18 right now. I really wanted to get past the chapter that is going to make me cry tonight. I don't see that happening. I'm optimistic though. You never know. You never know. I'm gonna read. I feel like because I have been struggling to focus, I might try to do some reading sprints for like 2 hours, you know, like read for 45 minutes, talk for 10 or whatever. So I might try to do that for 2 hours and just see how much progress I can make. I know that it goes up and down with how much you read. You know, it's not something you have to stick to all the time. It's a hobby. It's not an assignment. However, I do feel like sometimes it happens when I notice my attention span slipping, and sometimes that also goes in line with my tolerance for things slipping. So it's like I want to keep exercising it even sometimes when I don't, because I think it also goes hand in hand with like mental laziness sometimes, as long as like physical laziness, which I've also been experiencing. So yeah, I might try to do that. It could be a good idea. Maybe? Sure. I made it to part 2. I'm pretty sure I said this in the vlog I did when this first came out, that I never uploaded, so I'm at part 2. I think it's like just over 100 pages in, and at about page 80 something, maybe 90, I don't know if I should include spoilers. I mean, this has been out for a while, so minor spoilers coming up. Basically, someone's possessed, and it happened at the end of book 2, and I feel like you get the idea. It's like, oh, it's gonna be the main point of the story, is like, we don't know that this isn't who it's supposed to be. This person is possessed. They find out like 80 something pages in that they're possessed, which, one, thank goodness, because like I don't know if I'd enjoy the book as much if it was like they don't know that this person's not really who they are. Basically what I'm saying is I'm glad the entire book's not spent either not knowing someone's possessed or not being able to deal with it. Like, there's so much happening in this book that the first part is them not knowing, the second part is them fixing it, and the third part is like, you know, whatever. Like, that is how, like, that is good. I'm so glad it wasn't a whole book situation where it's just like, oh, okay, so this person isn't even the person. Especially because it's like, especially at the time, this world was done after this book, so I'm glad that this person is not someone else the whole time. I'm so vague. Anyway, I made it to part 2. I'm like 100 and something pages in. I think I want to go lay down. I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back on track, and it is 11:42. I was gonna go to bed at 11. All right, well, good night. I haven't even got to the stupid chapter yet! No. I'm okay. I hate it here. If I ever see Shelby in the street, I'm gonna have to trip her. I can't.
You okay? You okay? You okay? No.
Eh.
Hey. Did you cry on camera?
Yeah.
What a loser!
I finished. A couple things. I didn't record that much of this book because my boyfriend ended up coming into town. I did warn him if he heard crying that, you know, he could come in and like comfort me because I knew I was gonna cry. I do love this book. I honestly feel like this is more than one book. Like, so much happens in this one. And when I read it the first time, I didn't know about the duology, obviously, because they had just kind of started talking about it. But even the first time I read it, I really enjoyed how Celie loved just kind of like the different occult and stuff. And knowing what I know now, that her book is coming out, and it has to do with like vampires and stuff, I'm just like, it's so exciting. I'm so excited. Yeah, so during this book, a lot happened in my own life, hence why this video ended up being a lot longer. My boyfriend has now left town. However, he started reading. I have like the mini collector's versions of, well, some of them, of Throne of Glass, and he picked it up because it wasn't as intimidating because it was small. It's just only like one of the biggest series in the world. No pressure. I finished. Don't get me wrong. I have opinions, and the number one opinion, you know, not to give too many spoilers, but you know the twin situation. The girl twin situation at the end. That was not necessary! Ugh. Anyway, I will say, and this isn't me kissing Shelby's ass because I'm like a fangirl, the epilogue of this book is probably, I cried the entire time. It is, and I gave my mom a whole rundown of the character whose epilogue, I think I put it in the video as Ansel. I gave her a whole rundown so she could understand, because she doesn't read, so it's not like she's gonna read this, but despite like me being such a huge fan of Shelby in this series and stuff, it is probably one of the most beautiful endings to a story, or to a book, to a character, like, oh. Oh. It's just so beautiful. Okay, this started out as me trying to read this on my weekend off work. It ended up taking a couple weeks just because a lot of life happened. I ended up putting my notice in at said job. I have another job and I'm applying for others because I don't want to work in a bar anymore. I've worked in 2 karaoke bars and have yet to sing Big Titty Liddy. Should I? And I think my favorite thing about Lou is ultimately that she ended up getting a cat. Yeah. I have a little gray cat around here somewhere. He's very sassy, as is Lou's cat. I can't remember the last thing I updated, but I actually interacted with Shelby several times during this whole thing. I know that she reposted me a couple times, but she also liked and commented on my story of mine and my boyfriend's date with our books and everything, which is pretty cool. And I ended up pre-ordering the Scarlet Veil and, you know, signing up for the little necklace thing with my pre-order, and I am so excited. I will do a video about it. It's like everything is going to be decorated for Halloween at that point. I'm so excited! I knew I liked Celia at the end of the book. I liked her. But rereading it now and knowing that we get to dive deeper into her, I am so... Did that sound weird? Got it. Great cat. Great cat gray. Great cat long and sassy. Anyway. So excited.